Hello and welcome back to the channel. Lately I've been fascinated by a lot of the discussion around artificial intelligence, including ChatGPT and so many other things. It's really an area that I'm interested in, and I've started to get interested in and started to do more reading about. So I thought today, since I've been so fascinated by it, I've also been watching some movies related to that, and I thought I would share with you some of my favorite AI-related movies. Now, a lot of these movies could move into the area of science fiction. A lot of science fiction movies have artificial intelligence in them that are not necessarily the focus of the movie. So I've tried to pick some movies where AI is definitely the focus. And there's again, so much discussion around it and how it's either going to benefit society or maybe not benefit society so much, things like that. So maybe a long way to go, maybe not so long way to go in many cases. But, and I think in many ways, and I wasn't going to make this video just about artificial intelligence, but in many ways it's already with us. And so again, I thought I would share some of my favorite AI related movies and specifically robots with some intelligence in them. And certainly share with me in the comments below some of your favorite AI related movies. Could be a science fiction movie, maybe something I haven't heard of. Again, I love recommendations. This first one, my wife and I have started to, in fact, we just got back from the library and we picked up some seasons of Westworld from HBO because, as we know, Westworld's been removed from the HBO streaming service, so we picked up season 2 and season 3 from the library. But this is the original movie. This is one of the first movies where, as a kid, I was really exposed to artificial intelligence. Westworld with Yul Brynner, such an iconic cover here, and of course he was one of the main robots in Westworld. And I just love this movie. This is a great movie from the 70s that really holds up, in my humble opinion. And there's the back of that one too. This one has this one's got a special featurette, 1980 TV pilot Beyond Westworld and trailer, and there was a sequel made to this as well. But I just love this, and of course, this is the movie that was written and directed by Michael Crichton, of course, from Jurassic Park, many other movies, and obviously he's an author, but he participated in many other movies and books. And so this movie, as I mentioned, is really sort of the basis of the HBO series that obviously goes into a lot more depth on this particular movie. But anyway, I'm going to read the back of this one. I try to read the back of these two more than talk about the movie very specifically because I don't want to spoil it if you've never seen this movie before. But on the back it says, for $1,000 a day, vacationers can indulge whims at the theme park called Westworld. They can bust up a bar or bust out of jail, drop in on a brothel, or get the drop on a gunslinger. It's all safe, and supposedly all safe, but as we know, if you've seen this movie, it's really not safe. But anyway, this is one of my favorites from the 70s. And then, of course, you can't really talk about artificial intelligence really without referencing this movie, which is one of my absolute favorite movies. I watched it a little over a year ago again, and I've seen it many, many times before, but Stanley Kubrick's 2001, there's some artificial intelligence, of course, in this movie. If you've seen it before, really love this one, and it's a classic. It really holds up after all these years and really shows you some of the dangers we can get into with artificial intelligence on board. And of course, the computer HAL is running the spacecraft here. Again, I don't want to spoil this movie too much, but lots of this is an amazing movie, as well as many, if not all, of Stanley Kubrick's movies. But I love this one. This is one of my favorites. One of the more recent movies is a Spike Jonze movie called Her, which I think is really good. This is an amazing one with Joaquin Phoenix. There's the back of that one. These are all Blu-rays too, by the way. This is, again, one of my favorites. And again, I'll read a little bit of the back of this one. Set in Los Angeles in the slight future. Again, could be slight future, could be a few years away. Her follows Theodore, Joaquin Phoenix, a complex, soulful man who makes his living writing, touching personal letters for other people. Heartbroken after the end of a long relationship, he becomes intrigued with a new advanced operating system which promises to be an intuitive and unique entity in its own right. Upon initiating it, he is delighted to meet Samantha, a bright female voice, played by Scarlett Johansson, who is insightful, sensitive, and surprisingly funny. As her needs and desires grow in tandem with his own, their friendship deepens into an eventual love for each other. But again, artificial intelligence here. Again, some of this technology, much of this technology is already with us. It's already here. It's just being maybe exposed more for the first time. But I really like this one. Again, classic example of artificial intelligence. This next movie, my wife and I just watched again for the second time last night, and I really enjoyed this viewing of Ex Machina. I love this movie. This is a classic, artificial intelligence story, including some of the issues and problems you might run into when developing artificial intelligence, which I think society is wrestling with at this very moment. And there's the back of that one too. This is a 4K. And this movie, I think, is amazing. It's really great. Perfect length for a movie, a little under 2 hours. Again, this is my opinion. But I really enjoy this. Really very, very creative. Lots of surprises in this movie. Lots of interesting takes on artificial intelligence. It's a bit of a mystery as well. And again, so many surprises here too. So I really like this one also. Of course, this movie features artificial intelligence because it's called Artificial Intelligence from Steven Spielberg. And I really like this one also. I think it's a really great take on it. Of course, I have another Spielberg film here as well. This is the Blu-ray for Artificial Intelligence. Really like this one. And one of the ones I have seen more recently is Ready Player One. Again, a lot of these movies have not only artificial intelligence, but augmented reality also, which may be part of our future. These are all things I'm thinking about moving ahead in the future, not only with movie watching, but just with society in general. And there's the back of that one. And I love Steven Spielberg. This is one of my favorites. I was really surprised by this one because when I saw it, I wasn't really expecting to like it. I had seen some reviews about it and it didn't seem to be that good, but I really enjoyed it. And this is very rewatchable, again, in my humble opinion. Of course, one of the first movies I saw, this is when I was younger, it features artificial intelligence, and that is RoboCop. This happens to be the Arrow release for RoboCop, and I know I think there's a box for this one as well, but this has a ton of extra features on it, as you can see there in the back for RoboCop. But classic artificial intelligence, and again, what can happen, the good and the bad, with developing robots and pursuing artificial intelligence. And finally, a movie that this is probably one of my first ever Blu-rays, and I picked it up at the Disney store years ago, and we started rewatching it again last night. And this is maybe a little bit more of a fun take on artificial intelligence, Big Hero 6, which I think is a great film. Really enjoyed this one. And there's the back of that one. And I think this is probably one of the first Blu-rays I picked up. Of course, I was collecting VHS and DVDs, but this is one of the first Blu-rays that I picked up, and this one also has a digital copy. So that was probably the beginning of streaming, where you could have a digital copy of a movie. So I really like this one also. So those are just a few of my movies that feature artificial intelligence. I think over the next few weeks, my wife and I will be watching Westworld, the series from HBO. We just, like I said, got season 2 and season 3 from the library, because we know HBO is no longer streaming that. But let me know in the comments below if you have a favorite movie. It could be science fiction too, featuring augmented reality, artificial intelligence, robots, whatever the case may be. Just an area that seems to be fascinating me at this point, and I'm reading so much about it. In fact, I also picked up a book from the library, listening to podcasts about it. It's really an obsession at this point, as it is with a lot of people in the world right now. So let me know in the comments below too if you have specific feelings about artificial intelligence. How do you think it's going to go? What's going to happen? There's so much mystery around it. There's a lot of folks, a lot of movie fans who have seen movies like The Terminator and other movies and think artificial intelligence is not going to be good in the long run for the human race. So let me know. I know that's a big question, but let me know in the comments below again if you have a favorite movie, if you have a feeling about artificial intelligence at this point. Thanks so much for watching this video today. I should say I'm doing a series of live streams with my good friend Stephanie at Movie Chatter, so we've got another one coming up this Saturday. We've been doing live streams on Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern time, so please join us there if you can. Thanks for watching this video. If you like the video, click on like, and if this is your first video, please consider subscribing to the channel. That would be great. As always, I sincerely hope that everyone is safe and well, and I'll talk to you soon.